Welcome to Straight Up. I'm your host, Dr. White, the podcast that says what everyone's thinking, but doesn't always say out loud. Yes, we're keeping it real about life, culture, social media, relationships, and everything in between. It's honest, it's relatable, and it's powerful. And yes, it's straight up. Let me ask you a question. Who are you when the room changes? Not who you say you are, but who you become depending on who's watching. Because some of us don't live one life. We have layers to our lives, We call that compartmentalized. Compartmentalized is defined as dividing something into sections or categories. Let's say that psychologically, compartmentalization is a mental strategy to separate conflicting thoughts, emotions, or experiences like your work, personal life, good versus bad aspects about yourself. But the one that resonates with this particular podcast is the definition for information and security. It's defined as restricting access to sensitive information only to those who need it, preventing wider leaks. You don't need them to know everything about you. Some of the stuff that you do that's personal, you don't know how they are going to handle that information. Mm-hmm. This is how we do when we separate, the friends we hang out with from the friends we are in a working or organization with, like church, the gym, and out to lunch. These groups are usually in different compartments when it comes to the fullness of who we really are. It prevents the wider leaks, like I said, we don't need you to go talking about my business because now you know something about me that you didn't know at first. Because you had an ulterior motive of why you was hanging around with me in the first place. Mm-hmm. Come on, somebody. Now, I'm going to introduce somebody that's in here with me because I'm not in here by myself. I get to hold up a mask to those individuals, this group. But with the other group, I hang out with them. I get to let my hair down. Come on, somebody. You feel me on this. Mm-hmm. Today's segment is really going to deal with the reality of compartmental living. The club you, the church you, the work you, the family you, the social media you, the drinking beer on the corner you. Come on, somebody. You can relate to all of this. And here's the part we don't like to admit. Some of these people will never meet each other. I can come in with a story right now, but I'm not until I introduce one of my guests. I have with me today my sister, my friend, who is on set, Miss Laura Clemens. She is a working mother.
How y'all doing?
Say hello. Say hello.
How y'all doing?
She's a working mother with her own clothing line, Laura's Closet, and she's also a social media content creator who will be sharing with some of her expertise of what it's like when it's in reality, when you have to compartmentalize your living. Let's welcome her, please.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
So, Laura, this is really real because when we compartmentalize our relationships, it's as though we're being fake, but we're not. Mm-hmm. It's fragmented. That fragmentation of how it's like you begin a sentence and you might put a conjunction in the place and say, okay, I'm going to add this other part in. but I get to add in the part that I want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get a chance to choose
what you want to know.
But I have to watch what I say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with anything. If we go to church, you're not going to go in the church where you go in a club. You're not going to go in there cussing and loud talking. But some people do it, don't they? They come to church, they loud.
I just did a Facebook Live on how people come to church, or, like you don't go to church with your booty cheeks hanging out and your breasts hanging out and, your clothes so tight till you can't even bend down or stand up straight.
Especially when you up on that pulpit.
Right. So
because you've been called to something.
Yes.
You've been called to something. So now you have to make sure that you are presentable when you're in that light. When those new babes come in Christ, you may come with a tight dress on. I remember
that's right.
When I was new in
but after you're new, after you're old, after you're older Christian, been in church for all your life, you know how you should come in.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that, when the pastor's saying come as you are and telling the kids to come as they are, he's talking to the children. He's not talking to the people that's been in church all their life and knows that that's not how you're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that we are the singers is the only people left to really show you how you really supposed to be, because it seems like they really don't know how you're supposed to be.
Right.
I'm just saying,
So what's missing, and I'm doing a Bible study with my church. Shout out Temple Baptist Church.
And shout out my church's Friendship Missionary, 2800 Buena Vista.
Where Pastor
Frank Stevenson
and Pastor Drumright is mine. Absolutely, we're gonna give a shout out to them because we pay much respect to those ones that are the leaders of the church.
Yes.
And we should. And it's not that we put them up on a pedestal, but they are the leaders that we follow. And what I was getting at before we, started shouting out to our churches was that at this Bible study, we are studying what's missing. They say new members, you join the church, you got new members. New members go to new members class and they teach them about the history of the church. They teach them about past leaders and the current leader also.
What kind of jobs they have open, like usher?
Right, but before they even get started in that, they teach them about how we should dress. They teach us some things. You know how the mothers used to, back in my day, they would come, it's not just in.
Yes.
You're not going to let just anybody walk up to you and say anything to you about your miniskirt. But that's not the place. You don't start throwing stuff across their legs because you think no.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe the only thing she has in the closet is a party dress. And everything that she has in there fits her tight.
Right.
But like you said, once you become
older,
seasoned, I'm gonna say seasoned in the church, then you should know better.
You know better.
You already know.
But people act like because you're trying to make them do right, they act like our pastor's on that right now. He said he's out to save souls, not clothes.
Okay.
So he was trying to tell our people, that don't be hard on the young people that's coming in there, because they're coming how they are.
Right.
So he's telling the older people, don't look at them up and down. Don't stare at them like something's wrong with them. No, let them come in. Let them get in. Once they get in and get, like you said, seasoned, guess what? You will do stuff on your own. You'll see what the people's doing and how you're supposed to do. You keep on doing your role model.
So let me ask you something. Do you think that the problem could be those ones that are always trying to pick out what someone else is doing, is that they really want to do it themselves?
Yes.
Because they have not actually healed or grown from where they used to be.
Yes.
And now they just what you call it? They have it sucking on sour lemons because this girl is pretty and she's got a nice figure and you had a figure back in the day. And now you mad at her. No, don't approach her like that.
Right.
Come in like the fact that that girl, I've been there, done that. I was partying. I was the club girl. I was going out on Thursday Free Spirit, hitting up the low riders up here on Clarksville Highway, and then here I am. Saturday and Sunday was another place.
Me too.
I was coming in. They were going to church.
Me too.
But when God calls you,
Mm-hmm.
He'll call you from where you are, and he'll clean you up.
Yes.
Because that's why you got to get in there.
Fix you up, clean you up.
You can't get cleaned up saying, I got to get myself together before I get in there.
You know who you are when he finished with you. You don't know who you are.
Girl, what you saying, I'm serious, because I even remember the times that I used to study the word, just trying to read. I didn't really, grasp it like I needed to. It's not that I wasn't raised in the church. Mom would take me every day. But I was one of those that sat in the back of the church.
Me too, and leave when it's over.
Right. I wasn't really engaged in a relationship. There you go.
Me too. I tell them people that. I tell them people exactly that. I say, I was raised in the church because my mama played the piano. So all my whole life, on the third seat, we on the third row.
Come on there.
My whole family is sitting there on the third row.
Come on
every
there.
Sunday. So I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it is in the choir. I know what it is. I know what it is. I've seen it, but I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. I did when I was a little girl, but I didn't do it as a teenager and a grown up. You know what I mean? So,
right. I didn't either. I think I ran for like 2
Me too.
3
I didn't know
years.
you had to do that.
Once I turned 18, I was like, woo. I have so much going to church. Because we would be in church from the morning
to the evening.
The evening, we go back that night.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, Lord Jesus, I can't wait till I get 18. I can't wait
to get out of here.
And then I got 18 and just went crazy, just doing everything.
Yeah.
But God has a way of bringing you back on it.
Sure do.
Don't play.
Sure do.
When he brought me back, I came back into a relationship. So I wasn't really baptized until I was 21.
Mm.
I was afraid. I was like, boy, if I get baptized now, I'll probably die because I done so much.
12.
I was like, I done
probably
so
was
much.
12 years old. I probably was about 12.
And that's really the normal age. Most people, try to, but I just didn't believe that I was going to be serious.
Yeah,
I wasn't really serious about my walk. And so I knew it, and I felt like, no, I'm not ready. And I think somebody may be listening in saying that the same thing.
They can't come because
they're not ready. But it wasn't never about me being ready. I just needed to say, you know what, I've been doing something some kind of way, and I want to change it.
I won't change. That's all it is.
And when I wanted to change in life, and I came into a relationship, I started being in a relationship with God because I felt like that He really gave me a chance.
He did.
I mean, all I was doing, He gave me a chance to be in some places, to lead some things, and I'm like, He chose me.
Yeah.
And there was some haters around. I mean, there was some people some ladies that really didn't even like me and didn't even know me.
Girl, and
I was new in the church.
Well, wait a minute. That's what I was going to say. They get hateful when you get to church.
New in the church.
They get worse when you get in the church. It gets bad.
I know. It's like you're supposed to be loving. Then you learn. I think church hurt is the worst hurt because I was hurt so bad. I think I cried. I don't even think I wanted to come back.
I did. Me too. I know I did.
I had some sisters and mothers there that brought me back up in there, and they kind of covered me.
Yeah.
Because you're so thinking that everybody's like up here and then you down and you down here, But when you find out that y'all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God,
and they know
because
better than you.
while you was worried about what you were doing and feeling shameful, and they were making you feel that way, honey, they was going around sleeping with the deacon sitting with, sleeping with the director, sleeping with the organist, and you like, wow, I never would have known, because you ain't looking for that. You coming in trying to be in a relationship with God, so you really didn't look for that until somebody pointed it out to you. And you said, "What, girl? Don't be sharing that with me."
I sure didn't know where I was going or what I was doing.
I really didn't have anybody that was actually telling me that till I sat one at a service where the wife of the organist said, "That was my husband for 20 years. He's sleeping with." I said, "What?
This is not right."
I said, "What?" So then I know I was so hard on myself. I said, "You all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God." That's it.
Yes,
that's it. I really didn't want to go into segment 2, but it said, "Why do this? Why we do this? Why do we do this? Why do we compartmentalize who we are?"
Because you don't want everybody to know what you do, because people ridicule you on whatever you're doing. They ridicule you. So, the less people you have around, the less people that you have to tell with what you're doing, what's going on in your life. Yeah, and God is working on you. And when He's working on you, you are sort of like a mess.
But some of the fragments that the reason why we do it is that sometimes we want to belong.
Yeah.
So we go out with certain groups
Yeah.
and we just do what they do. And then sometimes we don't feel safe being whole around certain groups. So that's why we compartmentalize who we are and show part of us and not all of us. And then we've been taught love is conditional.
Unconditional.
It says we've been taught that love is conditional. But God said unconditional love. We haven't mastered that one. You know, there are some conditions to the reason why I love you. There's some reason if you don't do this, then I don't love you. Yeah, that's what I was going in. Yeah, of course we know unconditional love. You know, agape love. That's the one that we should. Dude, I'm still working on some of that because especially when somebody done me wrong.
Yeah, we all are. Yeah,
I don't really want to. I'll cut you loose.
My problem is my deliverance. I don't even know how to say what I'm trying to say. I just say it.
Yeah, but you know what? That's okay. But it's like you get to know. Self-awareness is the best thing for us. Self-awareness. So we know what we need to work on, and that's why we goes right back to where we started. If you have to edit yourself to be accepted, this is what God has said. Right. If we got to edit who we are, then we are not in alignment. You are in a performance. Yeah. So sometimes you get tired of performance. I'm not performing. I'm who I am when I walk in the room. I'm going to say what I say. But I've learned to be respectful
with what I say.
With what you say.
And you
should. Yeah. And you should, because you want someone to be respectful to you.
I really do.
You know. What I can say, though, with this first segment, because I know that there's more to this, and this is like one of those topics. It's 7 segments to this version of who are you when the room changes, that I want to take my time and have different people on give their opinion and their expertise in what it feels like to be you in a room. Let's say you're in a room with all these educators.
Big wheels.
Let's call them big wheels. Oh, I remember being in the room with some doctors, and I was taking the notes. You know, sometimes you feel a little bit, not the fact that I am African American and I was the only black in the room. You know, so as I'm coming up, by me being in Nashville, that I kind of got the experience that I needed in order to be comfortable in those rooms.
Yes. Because
I started working in the hospital. I think I was 25. Yeah. And then working my way up. So I stayed I don't want to name the hospital. That's the reason why I was hesitant. But anyway, those experiences that we have when we've been in rooms where we didn't fully feel like that we could be ourselves.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that's the room that we have to work on to say, you know what, you either accept me.
Yeah, I am, or you don't accept
This is who I am. I'm not gonna be nasty if I do something that hurts your feelings. Please, of course, please let me know. He says if your brother or sister harm you in a way, you go to them. You don't go on social media and say, well, I went to such and such house and they... No, you go to that person. And if that person does not hear you, you're supposed to take another faithful believer with you. Not somebody that's just on your side.
Right.
Talking smack.
That's right.
And then you straighten that out. But,
and then another thing, people, if you have something to say to somebody, you should go talk to them first, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it means. Go to them.
But people are cowards. They're not going to come to you first. They go tell somebody else to tell you what they want to tell you. They tell somebody else to tell you.
Well, that sounds kind of childish, though.
It is childish.
I mean, we up in age. I know me.
I'm
not afraid of my age. I'm 61.
And I'm 62.
And I'm not ashamed of that, because I love the fact that I made it to this age. My mama died at 58. And so when you pass that age, you kind of, not so much as a relief, but to know that, I got high blood pressure and those things can happen to me. I guess it's just like when we get into a room, just going back to our talk. Before I get off of here, I want to make sure that I touch 2 questions that I would just like for you to share with the audience and explain it in a way that It is open, it's relatable, and it is straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Who gets the safest version of you, and who gets the real version?
Me. I'm the safest version. What is
Who gets the safest version of you?
I
who
get
gets
the safest version of me.
And who gets the real version of you?
My children.
Your children.
Yeah,
You know,
because
that's good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
My children.
Absolutely. I think that we all have a part of us that we do not share with
everybody. Yeah,
you know,
I do. I know I do.
Only but God. I mean, God. I share everything. God would be the one.
Yeah, for me too.
He would be the one for me. I would like to say thank you so much for joining me for this segment of Real Talk, Straight Up with Dr. White. This segment is really going to open up some conversations for people, because this realization of compartmentalizing our lives and being one version of us here and another version of us there, God doesn't really want to bless versions of us. He wants to bless the whole of us.
Yeah.
And so we have to come to grips with who we are when we step into those rooms.
So he can bless us.
Absolutely. He's putting us in those rooms for a reason.
Yes, he is.
That's why he's called you. To do what you need to do in those rooms. And fear not, because the Lord our God is with you wherever you go. You want to say anything to the audience before we get off of here?
I just want to say, be who you are. Be who you are, and don't allow people to take who you are away from you, because they will. A lot of times people are very jealous of who you are and how you are. But that's only me. I'm speaking for me. That is just, I am just who I am. And I'm straightforward about it.
All right. I love it when she says straightforward, because this is straight up talk. Keep it real. Be blessed, my sister and my brother. And may God bless you real good. Until next time, I'll see you then.
See y'all.
Bye.